Dave.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Over Coffee, our morning talk show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 in the morning, where we talk about games or just about anything else. And the conversation, the topics of conversation before we even go online can be absolutely nuts and crazy. So these guys are funny. So anyway,
we were just talking about cannibalism, so check that out.
We were talking about what?
Cannibalism.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Blossom, that TV show from the 90s.
I thought we were talking about IHOP.
I thought all three of those were correct.
Oh, that's true. Facts. Facts.
I'm here with my co-hosts, Rich, John, and Doug, and we'd love to have you chat with us. Check us out later on Twitch or YouTube. Send us some feedback, comments, topics that you want to hear about. And with that said, I got a chance to play Horrified, the board game, for my first time. That was fun. I did that on the Wednesday night show at 10 p.m. right here on LI Tabletop.
Nice.
And I'm playing some games with Anthony, my wargaming buddy. So, and we have a convention later this year that we're considering going to for anywhere between 2 and 4 days. It's like a wargaming convention, and it's in November. So we're hoping that it'll actually happen, and there might be some people there. But I guess time will tell.
Is Ginger going with you?
No, Ginger will not be going to a wargaming convention.
So you and Anthony are going to go to a wargaming convention?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
Wait, is this a tabletop wargaming convention or like a video game?
Tabletop. In
Oh,
November.
so I'm assuming that there's going to be a 1,000% Warhammer 40K there.
It's going to be a what?
1,000% of Warhammer 40K.
He said there's going to be Warhammer 40K there.
No, not. It's more of
strategic and historical wargaming.
Historical simulations.
Not everybody likes your stupid tabletop game.
Listen, bro. Okay. You know what? That stupid tabletop game still unfortunately encompasses fucking at least like so much of the market. I'm not going to give percentages, but like so much of the market.
Why you got to curse?
And it's kept the company in business. It's kept the Warhammer's kept Games Workshop in business for what, 40 years now or something?
I am just teasing Doug.
The Warhammer IP has done way more. Like I think the Warhammer, they shouldn't be called Games Workshop. They should just be called Warhammer at this point. They name their stores after their IP. Why wouldn't they just name the company after at this point? You know what I mean? Like, realistically, it's the IP made the company, not the other way around, right?
Yeah,
but like, do you always want to be tethered to something? Because like, you might have like a breakout hit that completely changes the identity of the company, like.
Right, but they tried that with Lord of the Rings and it did not work.
Yeah, but I mean, I would argue that like from a gamer standpoint, like even people who are into like hobby stuff, Lord of the Rings is well known, but not something I would primarily say, oh, that's something I really want to get into, especially if a lot of you deal with Warhammer.
Well, the thing is, like, they're a tabletop company, right? You know what I mean? Like, you would think if someone's taken the Lord of the Rings IP and putting it on tabletop in such a grandiose fashion as Games Workshop, right? Like, it would be a huge hit, but it's not. It's not as big a hit as you'd think, right? It's not small, but it's not.
So Zynar said asked a question, Games Workshop makes other games. So actually, Games Workshop is probably an appropriate name considering they write, rewrite, cancel, rewrite, rework their games every week.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So it is literally a workshop for games, even if it's just one game. I think there's somebody who gets bored and says, hey, we haven't touched 40K in about 30, 40 seconds. Let's
well, don't forget that output used to be a lot more too. They used to put out a lot more games than they've done in a long time.
What are you talking about? True. They used to put out a lot more games.
Actually, John's true. John's right? Because
I'm not saying releasing games. I'm saying developing and public and producing. Because they had a whole like Space Hulk and Necromunda and all that stuff. And meanwhile, it's like, oh well, if they come out with new stuff, it's just those games again, though.
Yeah, like like
Yeah, well,
Advanced Heroes Quest was a Games Workshop game. They had a lot more game earlier
well,
on.
now they're doing like Black Fortress, and they just released Cursed City, which is part of the Warhammer Quest line, right?
Oh, and
Um,
they also own Talisman.
yeah, yeah.
So they really are a Games Workshop.
You know what? Yeah.
Blood Bowl is still very popular.
So Zynar wants to know if they should be Game Workshop.
Warhammer. Well, I mean,
Instead of because they only got one game out with this.
It should be
Oh,
called
he
the
also
Green Dark
said
World.
he said to be fair, Zynar said to be fair, he put out a lot more when he was younger too.
Hey, Zaida.
Oh,
Hey,
that's wonderful.
that's
just
you know what? That was the perfect quip. But like my question to you is, I feel like wouldn't you just put out in general? Like, is that a thing? Like, if it happens, it happens.
I think now dude, this is going way too far off course. I don't even know where you guys are going with this one anymore.
Let's take it back to Adam Sandler and IHOP. Let's do that.
Well, going back to what I was saying, I talked about what I was doing. What have you guys been doing in the last couple of days?
Recovering from my COVID shot.
Yeah.
Was it your second one or your first one?
It was my second one.
Ah, so you've been tapped twice.
Yeah. Yeah. The second one I had, it wasn't a bad reaction. It was exactly what they said was going to happen. I mean, so it was what it was. And then yesterday I was just a little tired, but everything else was gone.
So it's like tapping a forest for mana twice,
Yeah.
pulling it all out, and then regenerating it, untapping it.
Yeah,
Did you have a fever?
like so overnight. That's why I wasn't here on Wednesday. Overnight, I had chills and a fever, and then I slept for a little while longer, and that went away. And then I was just achy and tired that day.
He was like overnight oats.
So
he was like overnight oats, just marinating in his own stew.
And he got better though.
I got better.
Right.
He got better.
I got better.
Well, now he's GMO. Now he's a genetically modified organism.
John, what about you? Have you played any? I know you were playing. You said you played a new game last time we chatted. Have you continued that at all, or
Not how that works.
John's still there?
Yeah, John's here. He's just talking on mute.
He's talking on mute. Yeah. John's good like that.
No, yeah. No, I've been playing Satisfactory still. I've just been, kind of putting some time into that. I've been working out more, but I've been making sure to exercise at least 15 minutes a day to start with.
Whoa!
It's great.
Basically, so I have been, trying to spend time just making sure to get that in every day. But no, the only thing I can think of is I know that, especially since I'm getting my COVID shot, I'm probably going to be laid up this weekend too. So I'm most likely going to pick up the new Pokemon Snap game that just came out because it looks really a lot of fun for the Switch.
All right. Pokemon.
I also played some D&D last night, 5th edition. I've got some friends. I'm running them through mine at Fandelver.
Mines.
I thought it was mine. M-I-N-E.
Mines.
It's Mines of Fandelver.
Oh, okay.
You'd never have just one mine. Unless it's a strip mine, it's usually a series of caverns, which is mine.
Game Master Dave.
Well, they haven't even found the mine yet, so
Mines.
He can't even say it after we correct. He's like he's against it now.
I have to agree with Rich. It's Mines.
It's not mines. It's mine. It's mine.
It's
I
mine.
own it.
Mine.
Mine.
Guys, a mine is a terrible thing to waste. All right. So just
John, you need to.
This is unique. We got John giving out great witty comments, and also Rich agreeing with John twice today.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's
This is
right,
a unique show.
if he's right, I'm not going to argue just to argue.
John's got them dad jokes on deck.
It's great because I take the dad jokes that he comes up with and I try them out on my daughter.
basically what you're saying is John is now essentially your dad joke writer, right? So if this was SNL, you would be like Adam Sandler in the 90s, and John would be like the guy who's trying to get on the show.
That's true.
Hey, see what he did there? See what he did there? He's
Oh,
leading into
before
the
I
next
forget,
topic.
well, hold on, wait. Before I forget, because something just popped into my head when we were making dad jokes. I forgot to mention the Rich the other day because he wasn't on the show. That I read some article about some 24-year-old influencer who started just playing video games online and now has like a multi-million-dollar Roblox empire or something like that. Like, you gotta get on, you gotta get on your daughter to tell her, like, she's gotta step up her game,
I hear you. You know what? If my daughter programs, she probably already have it. She keeps asking me to do it, but it's not a job that I'm taking on by myself because I just don't have the time. But it's really it's so easy to do. It's just I just don't have the time to actually do it.
So wait, you're programming Roblox is just programming games in the game?
Yeah, you could actually make your own game, yeah, that
So,
other
like,
people could play.
So yeah, and how do you link it to them? Do you
You just
buy it from you?
No, you just publish it.
Oh, you just
But I think
publish
it's
it?
also a matter of, like, for a lot
Yeah.
of these influencers, I think it's, which, we could also kind of talk about it because it's like the new celebrity nowadays. A lot of these influencers, they just start with an audience and then the audience just somehow just grows constantly.
No, the thing is, we idolize them, right? So in my mind, we're going back to the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? When God says, "Thou shalt not worship idols."
No, it's not. I don't think it's that, Doug. I mean, yeah. I
I
mean,
think it's a different type of connection. Like, I don't know
it's
what the
no,
video is.
it's really not. It's exactly the same connection we had to different people, right? When we
Well-
when we were growing up, it wasn't YouTubers. It was other people. The difference, but the difference with YouTubers and those kind of influencers is that you have a more of a there's a chance that you have more of a connection with them because they can see and hear you, or hear you at least, or read you.
Right, like that's a big part of the appeal is the
Yeah.
idea that, like, you're part of the group with them.
I would agree halfway. So so in my opinion, right, an influencer or these YouTube star influencers or whatever, the thing that there's more in common, right? So you're watching them because you have something in common with them rather than like a celebrity that we watched back, when we were growing up, right? So for me, like, we would gawk over a celebrity like,
That's not true. That's not true because you're thinking in the conventional sense of a movie. Just think of a rock star or a music star. Your local
But
band.
not even that. Like,
But no.
celebrities usually are just celebrities were typically just people until they became celebrities. Like,
right, but that's the same
we
thing
were
with
joking off the show about Adam Sandler not getting into an IHOP. But the only reason why he'd even think about, like, oh man, the article was like, oh man, I can't believe they turned away Adam Sandler. It's like, yeah, but he's just a dude. Like,
all right, so hold on.
All right, let's let Doug get his thought out.
Yeah,
So we can jump on it, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, because like you both jumped on it midway, and I'm not even able to get the thought out, right? So, from an influencer standpoint, influencers and YouTubers pick a topic, right? They pick a niche, and then they abuse it, right? And we're the ones who essentially idolize those niches and watch it on YouTube, follow it on Instagram, follow it on our socials, right? And we give them that status.
Nope.
The same.
It's
the same.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's the same way as a celebrity, right? When a celebrity goes into a movie, right? We're like, oh, I like that person acting, or oh, I like that song, right? So we give them that status. Now, the only reason I compare them to a celebrity, like, now, mind you, they're probably like B-list, C-list celebrities, right? Not like the top dog celebrities because they're niche celebrities, right? But it's because I do see in the things that I watch on YouTube, like airsoft, snowboarding, gaming, right? There are certain people that have that celebrity status. Like, so if we were, like for our industry, right, gaming, you have Miniac, right? So if you were to go to a convention and you see Miniac there, you'd be like, oh, it's Scott the Miniature Maniac. Can I get your autograph? Can you show me something about painting? Swamp Sniper and airsoft. Everyone asks him to sign their gun.
I'm gonna go out there as I have no idea who those people are. But the thing is you compare it. You said idolizing. right? And I don't think it has to do. You don't have to idolize someone to like what they're doing,
Oh,
and
I took it to an extreme.
and follow them. I mean, to
I
be
took it to
honest,
an extreme.
what was that?
I took it to an extreme. I utilized a large word, but
Yeah,
but
Well,
but
let
in
me,
a sense,
let me also,
but it's no different. It is today. I mean, Zinar said it right. It's just today's entertainment. They do
but
something that entertains us, and
let's take that. What's that girl's name? What is it? Not the is it a Kardashian or whatever? She made $1 billion business by 22.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
yeah, but that's the problem
No,
with
no,
something
no.
like the Kardashians is there's a lot of factors in there that people kind of overlook. Of
No,
like,
it's
oh, these people are famous just for being famous. It's like, well, no,
Kenner, it's like Kendall or whatever her name is. I forget a freaking guy her
you talking
name.
about
But
Kendall Jenner?
the one, yeah, is that the one that made the huge freaking $1 billion business by 22? Right.
No,
That's
no,
the
no.
one.
But what's your point about it?
So, I mean, do we notice all the trends for these young girls raising from 17 to 22 since she started her whole, her whole social media empire? We see all of the trends that she started, the big lips, the fake, all the fake makeup, the fake
Yeah,
lips, the
but
fake
she had to
teeth.
start. But she had to step up to start with, right? Like she was already semi-famous to begin with, so it wasn't a big jump for her to do what she did. That wasn't a big deal.
also,
I
it's
mean,
also
let's
not
talk
even
about
that she was
because
semi famous. She
she was
came
like a
from a
child
wealthy
famous.
family. Like they came from money. They had
right.
like
That's my point.
the Kardashians had money that was able to then say, hey, we could advertise ourselves. It just so happened that E was like, yeah, there's a TV show here to be made. And then all the pieces fell into place. So it's like,
Right. But
yeah,
like,
on the one hand, they're famous for the sake of being famous, but it also doesn't help that they have millions of dollars just to dump in their basically name as a brand. You know,
right, but like my point here is, had she not had social media and started becoming an influencer, or like just taking that route as someone, right, her celebrity would be minimal.
right? No, I mean,
Actually,
yes, you're right.
hold it. Wait. No, I think you're using the wrong example, Doug. The reason why is because that would have happened anyway because of what we were just saying. She came from a spot where she could make those things happen regardless of social media. Social media helped it. It got it there quicker, but was not the reason. Now, if you want to talk about someone, you could go to say someone like Jojo Siwa. Okay, you know who that is?
Well,
Okay, so I know who she is because my daughter really liked her. Now, she was a YouTuber. She was just a YouTuber. She started putting videos on YouTube. She got really, really popular on YouTube because the kids all like to watch her and the things that she was doing. And Nickelodeon then found her, picked her up, turned her into, I mean, kept going with her stardom. And I believe, I don't know if she went into singing or whatever, but she had her own line of bows, and my daughter wanted to collect every single one of them. So that was different. She didn't come from, JoJo Siwa didn't come from a starting point that was already up on a pedestal. So to your point, that's a person that became an influencer um, by working for it, and just having people catch on. Yes, social media did that for her,
Well, let me ask you. Let me put it
but
this way, then.
it was a different type of entertainment for my daughter.
right.
Well,
So
let me put it this way, then. So
no, John. Here's the difference. I gotta like respond to that before you add another point to it. So, but I would still argue that there's really no difference, because listen, if we take social media out of the equation completely, right, then most people who have like families that are celebrity would only be in tabloids. They wouldn't she wouldn't have gone to that length, because she wouldn't have seen the gap there, right?
That's
So
not
in
that no. That's
I mean,
you keep wanting to take out social media and you can't because it's here, right? You can't say that this would have
right,
happened
but
or this wouldn't have happened because
you're taking it out of my example.
no,
So
I'm not
if we're gonna
because
take
because she
you
was
just
already,
did.
no because she was famous before social media. Social
She was
media just
barely.
helped. That's not true. The whole Bravo, or was it E or Bravo, John? I'm sorry.
I think what the Kardashians.
Yeah,
It was E. It
it
was
was
E.
E. She was famous on E before she stepped foot into social media. I mean, she was already famous.
I mean, also, like, to be fair, like the Kardashians, like I was saying before, they had millions of dollars to begin with. If they decided at any point, hey, I want to get into acting, she could have just done it. They probably would have had enough connections or enough clout or enough money to buy their way into Hollywood. They probably would have sucked, but it would have been like, yeah, that's the woman who keeps showing up in all these movies. Well, why? Well, because the
Do you know
dad
why?
had like,
Do you know why they're famous? Is because there was a whole rash of really bad reality shows
yes,
of
exactly.
cameras following people around. That's why they're famous, not because they
Jersey
stepped foot
Shore.
into YouTube.
Yeah, but like there are so many people that get those stupid reality shows and then fly off into oblivion, like, and you never hear from them again. You know what I mean? Like
You're
that.
right, because most of those people don't start off famous. She was famous. She became more famous, and then she stepped into the limelight by meeting and hanging out with more famous people. Yes, social media did boost it. I won't argue that at all, Doug. Absolutely right, the social media, but it is not the cause. It is an accelerator in this case.
But the thing is, the social media is in your face 24/7. 24/7 at all times,
And
right?
before social media, it was the TV.
Right, but
right, it was TV, it was magazines.
I don't know. There, you know what? I'll have to read up more, but realistically, in my opinion, and based on some of the articles that I have read, social media is the culprit in some of these influencer cases, regardless of celebrity status.
But that's not.
Well, I mean,
But I don't.
nowadays,
I don't understand what the culprit means. I mean,
well, hold on.
that's like saying TV is the culprit for the TV
I mean,
star,
look at
for the soap opera actor. I mean, that's what you're saying. It's like,
hold on.
She wouldn't have been like famous at all. She would have been a blip. Once the TV show was over, she would have been gone forever. You wouldn't have seen her. You wouldn't have been like,
absolutely not true, because she couldn't stay at. She would have been in the tabloids, like you said. And if we didn't have social media, the tabloids were everything.
yeah, but how many
Hold
kids?
on, let John get a word in.
All right.
I think the problem is you picked a bad example to argue for, because with the argument for the Kardashians, they had the resources that if they really wanted to, they could have built their own stardom without social media. However, if you want to take somebody like a YouTuber nowadays who's not from a wealthy family, who doesn't have the connections, who, gets famous from doing YouTube and then through social media builds it into a brand, that's kind of a different situation.
Justin Bieber.
That's somebody who basically grows their own stardom and then grows their brand through social media. And that's something that what?
Right?
Justin Bieber. How about that one?
No, Justin Bieber he was friends with Usher. Are
you kidding me? He was a 13-year-old boy who played the guitar on friggin' YouTube and then became famous. What are you talking about?
His parents weren't like producers or anything like that. He didn't
know shit. Kid was a star he gained his, to my knowledge, he was like a little kid and was discovered on YouTube.
You're right. I thought it was I thought it was right. No, I thought it was that he had family that was producers, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. Then yes. Then Justin Bieber is a good example, because the point is that you have people who started with nothing and then turned themselves into a brand, and then they used social media and they used other stuff to just continue to grow their identity.
So many people turn themselves into a brand. I mean, that's just how it is when you're on social media. You have to brand yourself, or else you kind of blip. Right.
Because nowadays, influencers are a dime a dozen nowadays, and a lot of them are successful. But the question is how long of a shelf life do they have?
As long as they're producing content so that people want to read or watch, that's if people don't want to read or watch you anymore, it's the end of your end of your existence.
Did we lose Rich?
No, I'm here. So I just wanted, I was reading something. I just want to make sure that we understand that you're right. Justin Bieber was discovered on YouTube, but not because he went on YouTube to play videos or to play guitar. No. I just want you to understand that, right? It was his mother, her parent, decided to put videos for friends and family, and it just became popular because he hit YouTube at the right time. YouTube was yes, YouTube was it, but that's no different. That's no different than when you were than somebody going on public access back in the 80s and 90s and being discovered there. It was you got to change you change people's mentality, because what happened was and is Scooter, let's see. So Scooter Braun, who's a producer, right, was searching the internet for new songs. So
Okay.
when you're searching the internet for new songs, you increase the percent that you're going to run into somebody's YouTube page that may be a little bit that may already be there. They may be good, right? And he found Justin Bieber and he took it and he ran with it. So it's just a different way of getting discovered. You know, playing in bars used to be the way to go. I mean, that's how Zach Wild got into Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy happened to be at a show that Zach band happened to be playing, right? And he says, "I want that guy." That was it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's that could have been playing online, and Ozzy could have seen him in the YouTube era, but it wasn't a YouTube era. So now it's just a different way of seeing things. So, it is exactly the same thing. It's cookie cutter, right? It's just the medium changes over time. It used to be radio or in person, and then it goes to TV.
Well, the one thing I'll say about social media and YouTube is that it has vastly increased the field of being picked up. Like talking about radio and
Yes.
bars and public access, you'd have to be in that area or in that town or listen to that radio station. Now with YouTube, if something's trending, it could go nationwide overnight. That
So
wasn't necessarily the case. Like it used to probably be a more gradual climb.
so Zynar says that boy Ryan, who just started a channel by unboxing toys and now has his own cartoon. Just so you know, that was that that was the example that Doug should have jumped on because that kid is horrible.
I don't even know about that guy.
My daughter knows who that is and hates it. Hates everything Ryan. Hates everything. She's seen his YouTube channel and does not like him. When my daughter first started watching YouTube, she ran into this. So here's what YouTube did, right? We call them influencers, whatever we're gonna call them. YouTube simply said we have hundreds of millions of people on the planet. There is enough fame for as many people that want to be famous. So, um, what people do, well, yeah, that's true. Zonar says it's now easier to find stars, but they burn out quicker, and that's true. That's the downside of what's happening. You know,
I mean, is it a downside?
well, fair enough. No, well, what happens is if you really like someone and they get burnt out, then you lose their content because the demand for an influencer to be an influencer is to produce something every week,
Well, it,
for forever.
it matches, like people are there are other people trying to do that. So if one person burns out and you enjoyed it, someone else is going to eventually, just like a company, rise up and fill that gap.
No,
Yeah, but
you're
that might
right.
not be healthy for the individual though. Like
Right,
that could
right.
also be a
Well,
situation where
Yeah,
yeah,
we're not talking about that.
no, but that's but you're right though. You're right, but here what I found is people don't jump over to that. Not everybody jumps over to that new person. Um,
No,
you know,
you lose audience. Like so, like I'll
yes.
just give one example, right? So I watch Swamp Sniper and he owns his own field, Ballahack Airsoft, right? He's owned it for quite a while, but he produces like LARPing content for airsoft. Like the man makes LARPing airsoft games that are a lot of fun. So it kind of bridges to kind of two industries, right? Airsoft and our industry, the role playing industry a little bit, right? So, but he has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube and he produces very good content. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. But, right, for instance, there are hundreds of other people trying to break into the airsoft space, on there. And there are tons of people that are rising and creating decent content. So, I mean, mind you, I'm picking a really awkward niche where it's like a lot of people watch it that aren't even in the niche space, like that are not even into airsoft because it just looks really cool what they're doing. But at the same time, it's it's just it's like our industry. It's hard to break into, but once you do, you start ramping up, like your producing ramps up. So if you ever like have a time, watch one of his videos for like his LARPs. They're pretty interesting. He like immerses himself. It's pretty funny.
Well, I mean, so here and don't get insulted by my words. I'm just saying it.
Mm-hmm.
to say it. Why? Why would I want to? It doesn't interest me, right?
Well,
It interests you, and that's okay.
right.
And I'm great, and I'm happy that we actually have a medium where people can go and check things out. Have a good see you later, sign off. But and like I know and I know it's something that you're into, and that's great.
Right.
But why do I need to go there? I mean, are you gonna go watch Mariah Elizabeth?
Who's Mariah Elizabeth?
So Mariah Elizabeth is a YouTube influencer that actually has, I think she has millions of followers. I think her channel's up to a million. I could actually pull her up, but
Wow.
the sound was on. I wasn't expecting that.
Uh,
All right, so she has 6.3 million subscribers on her channel.
Billion with a B?
No, million with an M. Sorry. So what she does is
With a J?
with a J,
John,
gajillion.
Rich doesn't know words.
And so I just make them up. And so what she does is she started out and she takes squishies, right? She refurbishes squishies, paints them, fixes them, glues them together, makes new squishies.
Here's
And
my question: do you watch her religiously?
do I watch her religiously? No. This is I actually watched her a lot, and then I handed her off to my daughter, and my daughter watches all of her videos.
So, like, refurbishing squishies interest you?
It actually it did for a little while because not because of the squishies, but then she would try to cook. That she would try to
Oh,
what she would do is she would cook. She would make her squishies because some of the squishies were food. So she would try to reproduce the squishies in real life, and that was
here's my
fun. That was fun to watch. But then I
here's my
stopped.
question: is she attractive?
What does it matter?
It's just a curiosity.
But what does it matter?
So, because it does matter in a way.
Okay, why
She-
does it matter?
So, like, just like regular celebrity, right? People are more inclined to watch someone, if they're attractive or not. It's just normal human nature. I'm just curious.
Okay, that's fair. So she happens to be, but
Okay.
I didn't find her by searching. I found her because of my friend's daughter,
Right.
my goddaughter, right?
Yeah. So,
Who
like,
said I was like I walked into the room and I said, "What are you guys watching?" And she explained to me. So I checked out a few of the videos and then I showed it to my daughter. And now I don't watch her, but my daughter does, and I don't think my daughter is watching her for that. I'm just gonna throw
no,
it
no,
out
no,
there.
no. For sure, she's not watching her for that. But so, like, it's just funny to me because, like, things that people would normally not watch, right? Like, I've noticed myself doing it as well. The people that would normally not watch something are more inclined to watch something if the person who's doing it is attracted to them, regardless, right? But like it's not that you're staying for them. You start it. Sometimes you start it because, oh, it's an attractive girl doing something random, right? And then you stay for that random item
But that's
because, like,
I
it
mean,
piques your
but
interest.
you're
I'm
arguing this thing.
oversimplifying it.
You're way not only you way oversimplifying it, but again, you're just restating a fact that has been around since the dawn of television.
No, I know. I was just curious because, like, again, if like I watched some, like, I mean, you hear about the stupid cake things that people sit on cakes, right? And then people, there are girls who, like, slam. There's a girl who makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by slamming her face into food. And she lives in, like, I think she lives in South.
You know what though, Doug? Good for her.
No, I know it's hysterical. It's hysterical.
It is
Like,
hysterical.
but she's like she's an attractive girl and she slams her face into food. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for anything that she does on her channel, but, like, she slams her face into food. So, I mean, unless that's like some sort of like sexual fetish for a lot of people, in my mind, it's just an attractive girl slamming her face into food. So it's funny to watch.
Right, but that's just like I don't think that way, but I understand it because you know what? How many times has somebody stopped on a TV channel when back in the day where flicking through channels was a thing? Because I can't do that now because I don't have a cable box, right?
Right.
And
Right, yeah.
so when flicking through channels was a thing, did you stop because you're like, oh, she's attractive,
I mean,
So I
when we were
understand
younger,
what,
sure.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I understand it. I don't do that now. Like I have one YouTube channel that I really follow. I'm subscribed to, and that is Perkins Brothers Builders because they're
Yeah,
they,
yeah,
because
because they're
that's
building stuff.
right because they're building stuff and they do a good job and they're not idiots when they talk about it.
So
They don't
I
make
could
you
argue
feel like
though.
They don't make you feel like an idiot.
That's
How do you
good.
feel about their unboxing videos?
Actually, they're pretty good. They unbox tools sometimes.
That's funny. That's funny.
I'm
Well,
leaving for work.
All right,
Wait.
wait. Let's sign off. Let's sign off. We got to sign off.
I
Sorry,
had a
Doug.
good comment for that.
All right, we'll pick this. We can pick this up next week. It was good. John, take us home.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching Over Coffee. We'll be back next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Much
6:30
less
in
enthused,
the
John.
morning. I don't know.
Sound less
Kind of,
enthused.
what?
Sound less enthused.
Well, I wasn't in the headspace to do this, so whatever.
Okay, we're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
be back next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's an off week for everyone, so no one's gonna watch any shows. But catch John every single day.
John, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Oh wait, are you doing something this weekend?
Yeah, he's got his shot. He said it at the beginning of
Oh.
the show. You were so
That's right.
hopped up on goofballs about your Games Workshop thing.
You know what, John? You'll be fine.
All right. But later, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.